Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? We are back with another episode breakdown, and man, it is getting intense. This Danmachi stuff is it's picking up, boy. Episode 5, entitled The Eclos Familia. So, as we get back into the episode, we conclude our fight with the Ken and Dix's group of people, and I mean, man, they're slaughtering the Ken, man, and it is not looking good. You see Ray and everybody, it just murdered, and I mean it's disgusting. They took out my man Foe, who looked like a more hairier version of a minotaur, and he was the one who kind of snapped Winnie back after in the previous episode when they were getting ready to leave, just to give her a smile that everything's gonna be okay. They even went as far as getting rid of my man, and we see Dix's he's disgusting. Like we know they have no kind heart towards the actual monsters there, whether they be sentient or not. They were ruthless. They were truly ruthless. I mean, so far as to just, after they had already did away with just about everybody, like Ray, they tried to violate her body, and she was just like, nah. If anything comes to this, I'll take my own life, which she did in the end, which I'm kind of sad to see. I thought it'd be kind of dope to see kind of an arachnid type beast maybe a little bit further into the show, but I mean, it's not to say she's the last, but still, it was just messed up. And they finished off the harpy, and as we get past that whole ordeal, we see Gross, who Ray said it, she's leaving the rest into Gross's hands, and Wine being the last one alive. Gross was not about it, and we find out that Gross is actually a gargoyle, which was kind of dope. I thought he was maybe a dragon, but he's a gargoyle. And yeah, he wasn't having it either. He's basically taking his rage, and he's gonna be pushing that forward. He's pushing that just all but forward. So there's a standoff between Lid and a group of the other remaining kin, as well as those who joined Gross, just to say, hey, we've had enough. We're not going to take this anymore. They have to do something, taking power into their own hands to actually seek retribution for their family who've been slain and slaughtered by these humans. And Lid still, he gives me such a refreshing aspect to such a creature, that he finds the best in people, or from something that Gross said, like, how many times will you be betrayed? So that lets you know that this kind of hasn't been the first time that maybe Lid has had interaction with people, not just people who come down maybe on behalf of the guild or Oranos, but just maybe when he was first kind of brought into being in the dungeon, he may have, since he discovered he could talk and communicate with people, maybe he wanted to reach out to others and see maybe there was somebody he could trust, maybe a random adventurer who went down and maybe got stuck, and he gave him some assistance to see if he could maybe actually make a human friend. And he also references Bell, and this is what Gross is like, how many times again are you gonna be led astray or betrayed? He's a human, like, he'll betray us just like every other one in the end. So Gross has they've all experienced their fair share of this, and it's just not good. So we get back up to the actual real world, and the rest of the crew, Bell, everyone's having it looks like lunch, and Bell doesn't look like he's just too much into eating. Like, you can tell he has a lot on his plate. There's a lot going on in his head. Maybe there's a lot of confusing emotions and thoughts he's having, even in his heart or with his moral compass. So he gets up and lets everyone know he's going to go to the dungeon for a bit. And he makes his way into the dungeon, where he comes across a kobold, a more, not sentient, ravenous, not a Zeno. And he's sitting there and remembering Lid's words, don't have any reservations towards slaying creatures, as you will get got in the dungeon. Don't do that. And we understand you don't want to kill monsters like us, but not all creatures are like them, which is where I think Bell's gonna he'll have to develop that type of growth within himself to differentiate the difference between a Zeno and a non-Zeno. Like they said last time, Zenos are even targeted by creatures of their own kind, but they're creatures who consider them to not be like them. They're not your typical creature, so they have something to gain, kind of like the dog eat dog mentality. So Zenos are under scrutiny from other monsters as well as humans. So Bell, he does end the kobold, and then we get to seeing everything that's going down once they get back. The guys who tried to actually do Ray in, she gave him a lasting mark. She hit him with some poisonous acid. That's what y'all get for trying to stick y'all meat in a spider, dog. Like, what is wrong with y'all? I mean, no part of that looked even satisfying. I can't even think of it. It did not look satisfying. Like, bro, she's a whole monster out here. Genealogy and everything else, it just ugh. But she left him with a mark, and as they're all trying to get back and recover, I believe this is all taking place on the 18th floor in Lavaria. Gross and the rest of the monsters, like the people there hear some noises, and like it sounds like they about that action, because all you hear is like these roars and deep grump. It would sound like the awakening of some deadly beast that, damn, I really caused this. And they went in, from what we know, because once they get in and everything happens, the on the upper layer of at the top of the back in the city, the bell sound letting everyone know, hey, there's something going down on the 18th level of the dungeon. Everybody, this is a direct order from the guild, get ready. Like, they're going to be sending people in. But then all at the same time, that whole thing's been circumvented. Like, no, scratch that, that's not gonna happen. Everyone remain in your homes. Adventurers, people, go back to your homes. We're gonna handle this. They'll basically let everyone know what's gonna happen next as they do. And this is all a actual plan by Oranos. He's set in motion to set up a certain specific group of individuals tasked to subdue this invasion that's happening on the 18th floor with Gross and the rest of those other creatures down there. He handpicks the Ganesh family, but he also wants to have Bell be down there. He also wants to have Bell be a part of that. And Fails is kind of like, you sure about this? Like, he's like, let Hestia know that Bell is going to be a part of this. They send a note, they send a letter, a direct order from the guild, and so on and so forth. But Bell, he's already still kind of in the dungeon at this point. So Fails has to go and actually grab Bell. But let me loop back to something prior. He had a conversation with Oz, and this opened my mind to something that may be happening soon here in the next couple episodes. I think Bell's gonna get set up to become a scapegoat of some kind, not more like a scapegoat or a martyr, but there's gonna be a lot of division between him and all the people who liked him within the show, like the different members from the different familias, even Oz, because he asks her, if there was a monster who basically was more human than monster, what would you do? And her initial reaction was, you could tell she almost kind of wanted to say, basically, I just kill it, but she found a better way to say that if it brings misery to someone and it's a monster, I'm gonna take care of it. But I'm like, that's not what he asked you. He asked if it was more human than it was a beast, how would you handle it? And you could tell the look in his eyes from the answer that she gave. It's gonna cause some division, because I think what's coming up when Bell gets down there, and who's to say what happens, because like I said, there's only a select group of people going from the Ganesh family, and I'm in Ganesh's familia is, I believe they know of the Xenos, but I want to say it's just mostly Ganesh and not his familia. I think the word's gonna get out thereafter how Bell reacts and tries to save the creatures more so than slay them, and stopping others from taking their life, and not only showing Gross, but other individuals who reside from the upper world, that the little rookie is defending creatures like that's blasphemy. Monsters are to be slayed. That's how it's always been. It's kind of like rule number one of becoming an adventurer. So I know for a fact that's gonna be something hard and heavy, because once the word gets out, everybody's gonna be like, yo, the Hestia family this, the Hestia family that. It's just gonna be so disgusting. It's not gonna be nice to look at, but it's definitely gonna be a turning point for a lot of character and plot development, which I'm looking forward to. So Fails lets Bell know that he's going to be infiltrating the Ganesh family to get down to the 18th layer, because no one's allowed to go, no adventurers other than the selected familia. But you see everything else behind the scenes. Everyone else behind the scenes is like, discussing this and trying to figure out what's going on. So Wise, Haruhime, everyone else knows in the Hestia family what's going down, and then you see other people from Loki and Oz and all those people wondering what's going on. Loki's kind of, I wouldn't say she cares too much, but she's still kind of confused. Hermes he's concerned for Belle. Like he's really concerned for Belle, but it's like I still don't know where Hermes' true intentions lie, because I know he knows that Belle is kind of the adoptive grandson of Zeus, I want to say. But like, in what ties does that play into the way Hermes wants to go about interacting with Belle? Like, is he trying to be like a big brother, a secret savior? Who knows? I really don't know. And then they let Aisha know what's going down, and then Aisha gets informed by the Amazon chick from the last season. She joined the Hermes Familia and lets her know. So everyone who has concern for Belle in some form or fashion, they're all being brought together to, I guess, foresee the inevitable outcome. Like, those who know or on the inside of all this chaos are going to be brought down into the dungeon, or at least they're gonna have the most accurate information of what's gonna transpire once they get down into the dungeon. And I can't see it playing out too well in Belle's favor, because everyone thinks this is dangerous. Everyone's like, yo, Belle's charting into some very dangerous territory, and why is Oronos doing this? Like, what is he trying to clear up? What is he trying to make happen? But they understand he's in the hand of the gods. Hermes is like, is he gonna be? No, it wasn't Hermes, sorry. I actually think, no, it was Oronos. He's like, is he going to be a puppet for the gods, or is he going to be someone who breaks ground and makes change? Like, that's kind of the way Oronos is gauging. It's like, this is almost like a test for him to see, will Belle fold, or will he rise to the occasion? And I know Belle will rise to the occasion. Like, we know what this show is about, but then again, it could go completely left. It could not be that way. We don't necessarily know. That's why we have to wait and find out in the next episode. But it's just different. I'm so excited that I'm glad this show's back. I can't figure out or put my hands on what's gonna happen. I know Lid and the other factions gonna be there because they're tasked. He basically set out to get and stop Gross. Belle's gonna get down there and meet Lid. Dex is down there being a fucking dick. It's crazy. And we also hear about the Ikelos Familia, who's apparently got their hands in with the dark faction Evilos. So who is Evilos? What is Evilus? My apologies. Evilus. Who are these people? Why is the patron god of Ikelos? What is his deal? Mans is crazy. He's loving the chaos that's ensuing. Like, I'm like, what god is he actually? I can't wait to figure out who he is, because I would imagine this will be Loki, but this isn't some Loki type ish. Loki ain't even this. So who could this god be? What pantheon does this god come from? Why do they want to cause chaos and turmoil? What's the whole deal with them having such erratic and evil familia? Could it be the influence of the Dark Guild? Could it be the influence of them just being warped by their god? Who knows? But all I know is, folks, Belle's in for some hell. We just have to tune in and see what's gonna happen. I hope you're sticking by your boy while we go through this. If you like the video, comment down below saying Belle's gonna be okay if you made it this far into the video. But other than that, I will catch y'all next time for the next review. Y'all be easy. Peace.